Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Vitalo Stillwater. Vitalo is here for you. Stay hydrated, stay fresh, and choose Vitalo.
Whatever you want to do, do it. Don't be afraid to fail. It takes a lot to step outside your comfort zone, have people see a different side of you, and it might not be successful. To me, success really is one person saying, oh, that was really insightful or really interesting. So to me, that's what success looks like. Hi, everyone. Today, we're doing something totally different. I'm going to hand over the reins to my good friend, Duaa Mohammed. Duaa, it's all yours.
Thank you, Dianne. Hi, everybody. My name is Duaa Mohammed, and I'm here to not even interview. We're here to get to know Dianne, right? You know, you've made it this far without knowing who you are. So I think it's time for you to really let everybody know who Dianne Dusaidi is. Who are you?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I?
Yeah.
Such just some chick, man.
Do you remember when we were in Nairobi and we were driving and it was like, what, 1 a.m. and you're like, guys, this is CBD. And I'm like, how do you know that?
I do remember that. It's funny because you were like, who are you?
Like,
yeah, so I feel like I've lived in Nairobi, first of all. I haven't. I do enjoy that city. But yeah, I think generally I've lived in a lot of places and I've done a lot of things. You know, I'm Rwandan, as you know, very, very proudly Rwandan, and also Canadian. So born and raised in Toronto, moved to Kigali at 12 and a half, because the half is important at that age. You know, turned 13 in Kigali. My dad passed away a month after, so we moved in July. My birthday's in October. He passed away in November. So that was a hard year. It was a hard introduction as we're trying to settle in. But yeah, did high school there. And that experience was really interesting because, you know, you walk into an all-black school, very different from Toronto, where I was like 1 in 4 black kids in the whole school.
Wow.
So now it's like, your cousin is in S2, your cousin is in S6, you know, like grade 10 and grade 12, or, you know. So it was just nice to be surrounded. And then people are speaking the same language. So that was a cultural shock in a good way. Then came back to Toronto for university. Went to Ryerson, which is now TMU. And I really wanted to study political science after my dad. But when I was registering at University of Toronto, it was just so theoretical. I was like, Toronto's new and young, and it needs practical solutions. So I went to Ryerson, which I ended up doing public administration and governance.
okay.
And because I was like, it's practical. It's like, you know, public administration, like how do I actually govern a team and an institution? And I thought it's what Rwanda needed at the time. And I think it was. It was a good choice.
So interesting. At such a young age, you're already thinking about what your country needed or what looks good.
I think what the country needed for sure, I think it's just the upbringing of the family. Like, it, you know, it's a very political family. Even before they had a country to be political about, they were just political people, right? Very aware, always, you know, CNN, BBC were always in the background, Lyricking Live, 60 Minutes, you know, just we were always in the know. So I think, you know, having a focus on Rwanda, the Rwandan values were instilled in us very young. So, you know, planning for Rwanda and knowing that this is a new country, it needs everybody, right? It needs all of your experiences and stuff. How do I add value? How do I contribute? So I did public admin. And then I was like, my plan was to go home and work for 2 years, see where they need me, come back, do a master's in public policy, or go to law school.
Oh, imagine.
Best laid plans.
Imagine
always go
Dianne
to
as a
hell.
lawyer.
I think that would be good, no?
I think so too, because like, you're always defending us and you're
Always
always on
defending
like,
people.
not people, women.
That's true.
Women. You're always defending women.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I could defend the brothers a bit better.
Could have been.
I could. Yeah, so I really wanted to, I think being a lawyer was probably going to be my path. And then, you know, one thing led to another. I got my dream job at the president's office. the president of the Republic of Rwanda, and it was in the strategy policy unit, and I was there for 1 week.
Your dream job. Your dream job. You were there for 1 week.
At most, it was like 10 days.
Oh my. Okay, what happened?
So if you look at my CV, you'll never see it referenced because we didn't even get to like the contracting phase.
So you were just getting. Was this interviewing? Were they
So I
interviewing, or were you getting
interviewed-
onboarded?
So they interviewed me. There was like a panel. I was interviewed. There were other people in the waiting room to be interviewed. I got the job, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna send you the paperwork, but like work is urgent. Can you start like now?"
Okay.
I was like, "Okay." So then after a few days, I was like, "Where's my contract?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, about that. We want to talk to you about something." And I was like, "Okay." And they're like, "So you're young, you're exposed. We want you to go to a different institution, still within government,
Okay.
but a different institution." I legit thought I was being fired.
Oh my God.
I went home and cried. Well, I was like, "They don't want me. I don't know what I did. It's only week 1.
My dream job.
My dream job. I wanted to work with His Excellency for so long, but wanted to work in government for so long." And then she was like, "Where are you going? Like, where did they send you?" So I said, "Oh, it's this new institution. They're calling it, it's 7 institutions coming together. They're calling it the Rwanda Development Board, RDB,
Oh,
Unit
wow,
Kigali." So I did
yeah.
Kigali. I went to RDB and worked there, one of the first people to work there. I think it was like hire number 5.
For 1 week.
No.
Okay.
Then I
Okay.
worked there for like 4 years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. Okay.
RDB's mandate was foreign direct investment.
Okay.
And, I was like, I don't know anything about business.
Wow.
That's not my path.
Wow.
My path was political science or law.
Wow.
So I was like, I don't know anything about business. What am I going to do? And she was like, "You'll learn." And that's what they were telling me. They're like, "You'll learn. You have the energy. You'll figure it out. We need people who can figure it
Oh
out."
my gosh, that's crazy because when you think of
'Cause
Dianne
you
now,
know me as an entrepreneur.
yeah,
Yeah.
all business,
Yeah.
SME this, SME that, like wow.
It started with RDB.
Wow. And you stayed there for 4 years. You only came for 2 years, huh?
Yeah, I ended up staying for 4 years. So funny enough, when I went to RDB, they put me in the HCD department, Human Capital Development, Institutional Development Department.
Okay.
And I didn't really like the training part, to be honest. And I could see a lot of activity happening in the investment promotion department. So I asked to be transferred, and they transferred me. And at the time, we had 9 priority sectors. Media was one of them. And foreigners did not want to invest in media. We had not yet liberalized the airwaves. So we were about to get there, but we were looking for foreign direct investment to do that.
That's so
And they just didn't want to invest because media played a big role in the genocide against the Tutsi.
yeah.
So they didn't want to do that. And I said, if I ever have money, I will invest in media. So I ended up working in the tourism sector for investments. And just got interested in understanding business from the other side, right? Because I understood it from the government and how we, do the investment promotion policies and stuff like that.
How did you leave the government though?
So that's how I ended up leaving, because I ended up going to do my master's eventually.
yeah.
And I did an MBA
Okay.
in international business in Holland at Maastricht. And then from there, I said, okay, I think I've done my time. I think I need to contribute differently. I want to go into the private sector and start my own business, and I'm going to do a production company, media.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to invest my own like $5.
Wow.
So I had very little money. I don't even think I had money to register the company at the time, because we were still paying. It was like small fee, but we were, my former colleague who was upstairs in the building when I was there registering lent me the money to register the company.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Actually, that's incredible.
And 2 years. So how I ended up doing that is I always knew I wanted to do something in media, but I didn't know how or when. So my sister joined me in Toronto. I was finishing university. She was starting. No, I was finishing, and she was like in her last year or 2 of high school. And I said, and then she did a media course in high school, and she loved it. I said, you know what? It's too late for me to do anything. I'm about to finish. Whatever you end up studying, just do a minor. So she did a minor film.
Wow.
And then when I did an MBA, we said, great, let's bring it together. You're the business person, I'm the creative person.
And then you guys did it.
Let's do it together. So we called it Legacy 45 Entertainment after my dad, because my dad passed away at 45. And he, a lot of people remember him as a politician, but before that, he was a teacher. He even worked in Kenya teaching French and drama. And we have pictures of that. And so we're like, let's dedicate the creative side
It's amazing.
to him.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And our real big project, we did a number of things, but I think what people remember is Rise and Shine Rwanda.
Wow. Even I know Rise and Shine Rwanda.
Yes.
Wow.
The TV show. So we did that for the national broadcast.
Does it still exist?
No, it stopped after maybe 5 years. Yeah, it was a very expensive show to do. Daily television, big crew, big team. The business of media is advertising. Rwanda is a very small market. And it was just a very expensive show to do. So we did it for about 5 years. And then one of the donors, because we got development partners to help us lift it off, said, this is really popular with the diaspora. You should look into Kickstarter or Indiegogo and try and do crowdfunding. You should try and do crowdfunding
For Rise and Shine.
for Rise and Shine Rwanda from the diaspora if you can't get enough advertisers. And I said, okay. So I looked into it, and they didn't have, the payment system was very tricky for Rwanda at the time. And I said, you know what? I'm going to create my own. And I'm going to link it. The payment system is going to be mobile money and credit cards and bank cards, etc. And when I was doing my master's, my thesis was on mobile money and international remittances. And I literally called it the next big thing, because mobile money was very new. I mean, I did my master's in 2011. Mobile money, I think, launched maybe a year or two before that. So it was very new. And, even doing it from like MTN Rwanda to Airtel within the country was hard. So to do it cross-border or, abroad was just not, it was not happening at the time. So I said, I'm gonna create it. That took a very long time. It took a very long time. And I was, the startup crew will know this. The entrepreneurs, this. You hustle, right? You look for the money, you do the grants. And I ran into this lady who was also pitching her business. I think it was called, not the business called Kasha, but the pitch was, I think it was Seed Star. We're pitching for the same thing. She won. And she told me about her business. It was like, we're selling personal healthcare products, including pads. And, it's really about, people could buy things in privacy. I mean, you just think of young girls getting their period for the first time. They don't have to go to the store. They can just do. And it was on USSD. It was amazing. And beyond that, other things that people don't want, like maybe contraceptives and stuff like that. And I said, oh, that's a really great idea. If I had money, I would invest in you. And it's not even that we became friends or we exchanged numbers, nothing. We just had a great conversation exchange. And that was it. And then a year later, when the fintech is called U+ Mutual Partners, because it's like all of us contributing funds together. When that was just taking long and Rise and Shine was becoming really expensive and really hard to maintain, I said, I think I have to go get a job. This is why I have multiple degrees. Let me go get a job. And I reached out to a recruiter, Denise with Right Seat. Shout out to Denise and Right Seat. She said, Kasha's looking for a country director. I think you'd be great for it. So I ended up applying, getting the role. Joanna's amazing. I really learned a lot from her in terms of business. In terms of also, there's a difference between having an SME, small and medium enterprise, versus a startup and trying to scale and, do an IPO or be acquired. That's different from having a small business or a mom and pop shop. And I think that clarity, seeing it in action, was very eye-opening. And it was a mini MBA in practice, right? So that was great. And then
so you were there as a country director. Wow. How long?
Not long. I did it for 2 years.
That's good. That's
Then I joined the foundation, and then they asked me to join the board, and I was on the board for maybe another 2 years. And I think I advised informally for like a year. So I feel like my Kasha time was maybe 5 years.
Okay.
Maybe 5 years in total. Then joined the foundation, took me back to my tourism roots.
Nice.
Because the foundation, the MasterCard Foundation, was focused on tourism.
In Rwanda.
And yeah, I had tourism experience from RDB.
Wow.
So I ended up doing that. And because now I had the experience of entrepreneurship, infused a lot of that into the program I did there.
Yeah.
Been there for, ever since, as well as doing other things, right?
Yeah.
The board,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I sit on a bank board, I chair it. So what happened is there's this lady called Lucy. Big shout out to Lucy. Lucy, one of the key players, women empowerment in Rwanda, German, I believe married to Rwanda or Burundian, and had been in Rwanda for a number of years. And they approached her, and she said, I think she was unable to do it for a number, maybe she had other commitments. And she reached out to me and said, you have great entrepreneurship SME experience. That's the experience that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
She recommended me. And I went for the interview. I met the shareholders, I'm a chair of the board at the time, and etc. And joined as a board member, a normal board member, independent board member. And then after a year, became chair. And I've been chair ever since. So I've been on the board we changed from commercial banking to microfinance.
And you were the first.
Oh, I wasn't the first. I think they misspoke in the papers when they printed it. They said, I think the first female chair.
Yeah.
But I think I was the youngest. I think there was one or two before me in other banks.
Okay.
At least in the financial sector. So I was not the first, but
You were the youngest.
youngest, yeah. Which I don't know if I'm young, but thank you.
But at the time, like, it's a big deal.
It was a big deal.
It was a big deal. I don't know why you're.
It was a big deal, but also, there's something about being the first or being the youngest or being the this, that. Like, you have to make room for others. And it's also like, I'm the first or the youngest in the 21st century. Why? We have to make room. Like, that's a problem.
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think since then, we brought some more people in, and I think there are more female chairs, but also more female CEOs in the financial space in Rwanda. So it is improving.
Yeah, that's one thing I think I really appreciate about you or admire about you is that you always call it out.
Yeah.
Where you see a challenge or a gap or a problem, you're always calling it out, which I really appreciate. Yeah.
I have to reel it in sometimes. It can get me into trouble, but it's just like.
Yeah. But it's like part of you. It's part of who you are. It's part of the advocacy. You're a big sis, you have your big sis.
The big sis in business thing is something I just started. I haven't registered it or anything. It's just like something I do for fun. I started it during COVID. I literally was, when like you feel like, okay, if I survive this thing, what have I survived for? What should I do with my life? And I just started asking friends and family, what do you think I'm good at? And they're like, oh my God, your network and your advice and your da-da-da. If I could get your network and your advice. So I said, okay, let me start something. And they're like, but everything you do is kind of like a lecture because you're a big sister to everybody, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to call it Big Sis in Business, which I haven't really formally done it. I just do it for friends and family. I think I just need to figure out how to scale it.
Yeah. But I think you're really being really humble because I feel like you're a mentor, you're a big sis to all of us, regardless of age, regardless of where we are in life. You're always there kind of really guiding us and helping us and calling us out.
Yeah.
Always calling us out.
Always calling me out too. I think it's, it's sisterhood.
Yeah.
It's just like you want the best for people.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just like, how do we show up? And, I've worked in many sectors, right? Finance, tech, health.
You didn't tell us about Tunis. By the way, she's lived in Tunis before.
I lived in Tunis. So I lived in Tunis during a really tough time, right? It was right after I did a short stint in Tunis as an intern at the AFDB, African Development Bank, which is another dream job. It was like I either work for the government of Rwanda or work at AFDB. Those are the two things I want in this lifetime. I did both of them, and they were both short-lived. One was a little big, one was 3 months, or 4 months.
Improved.
So I lived there right after the Arab Spring, or the Tunisians would say the Tunis Revolution. So it was a tough time, but it was a good experience. AFDB is very Africa, like fully represented, So it felt in a way like RDB, like a bigger RDB.
Okay.
And after that, unfortunately or fortunately, they were on a hiring freeze. So I couldn't do the professional program or get in, as a normal hire. So I said, okay, if AFDB has no room and I've done my time at RDB. Let me go and start my business. And that's how really the entrepreneurship journey began. And I think I've never looked back, as much as it can be a struggle sometimes. I don't know. There's something about creating something from scratch.
Yeah.
Like it's in my mind and then I can see it and it
Yeah.
comes to fruition and maybe it impacts one person or
Yeah.
two. And, you know,
Yeah. Do you remember when we were talking about this podcast? Like, what was this,
I know.
2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
In Ghana, on your couch.
Yeah. I was like, I want to start this podcast. I've kind of been fumbling with it. Like, should it be like a Big Sis podcast? Should it be this? Should it be business focus? Should it be, and I said, let's just talk about what we know, which is Africa.
Yeah.
And all of its glory. There's business, but you also need the politicians, you need the creatives, you need everybody. So I think that's really one of the reasons why I decided to do it now and, in the format that it's in. Also, everything in its time.
Yeah, everything does take time.
Everything in its time. Even Rise and Shine, we started that conversation 2 years before we did it.
Wow.
It took that long to negotiate, 2 years. And then, Legacy 45, by the time my sisters... we were saying we're going to do something in media. We'll start some kind of production company. So you go do this. So by the time she was finishing high school, applied to university, got in, did 4-year degree, moved to Rwanda. That was like 6, 7, 8 years before we actually started it.
Yeah.
So everything in its time.
Yeah. And this is now's the time for this.
Yeah.
Amen. Like, I'm so happy that you, incredible. And here I am interviewing her.
Exactly. I'm a community person. I'm a people person. So I gravitate to people. I always find, I was on this Rwanda panel maybe a year ago, and I was saying the biggest hack is join a WhatsApp group. There's always a WhatsApp group for the Rwandan community and other, communities. And then for me, who's in business and in various business industries, I'm always in, a fintech group, a health group, a media group, etc. So then I think it's the number of countries, the number of sectors, the different roles, right? So I think that's part of it. It's just, first of all, Rwanda is small. The diaspora is large, because of our history. We've lived everywhere. We have people everywhere. And then, you meet their friends. I know you, and then now I know your siblings and your husband, and it becomes a network, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of, I think that's a very good question in terms of boundaries and, balancing it all, because not everybody that is your friend. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just people can be kind.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, to always be nice to people. And not that you want something in return, right? It's just like, be a good person. Just be a good human being. And I started therapy in, 2018, 2019. And I think everybody should go to therapy. I've done it twice, and I really found a lot of value in it. And I remember saying something along those lines, like, I feel overwhelmed because I also take on energy, right? Energy is really important to me. And your energy, if you came into this room sad, I would absorb that energy, right? I would worry about you, and then I would also absorb it. So I was telling the therapist, I was like, I feel like, I think there's a word for it. Empath.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She's like, you're an empath. And you also need to learn the difference between tribe and community.
Wow.
People in your community. And when we think of community, we think of those aunties we haven't seen in a long time, right? No, but community is also people who are not your core. Your tribe is your core, right? Your community is everybody. You love them. They're your community. You wish them well. You're happy to see them when you see them, but they're not invited to the table birthday party, right? Like if your birthday dinner is a dinner table, 10 people, maybe they're not the top 10, right? Maybe they're in the top 20. Maybe they're in the top 200. Right? That's your community. And you should be blessed that you have such a large community, and respect that you have that, and respect people in it, but they're not your tribe, and to just know the difference, right? So I think that was really eye-opening. I actually even ended up getting 2 phones just to put it in practice, right? So that I could, in my mind needs to compartmentalize, right? So now it's my Africa phone, right? So it's everybody's on it. But at the time, it was just an exercise. Like, let me get 2 phones, and the people who have this number are my tribe. The people who have this number that I've had for 100 years is the community. So if you can't get me, if you can get me any time of the day, you are my tribe. If you can only get me during working hours or when I'm awake and happy, that's my community. If I'm going through something or if I'm tired as hell, but if you need me, and I'm there, that's the other form. That's my tribe. So that was an exercise that I just, without telling people. So I think at the time they were like, why give you phones? I was like, oh, maybe one's a word phone or something, right?
No, but it's really interesting how you compare, you separate the two. And I like the notion of like community and tribe.
Yeah.
It's so important,
I think an easy way to think about it, though, without going into the technicalities of getting another phone and paying another phone bill, is if you were to take a group trip for something really personal, because I think weddings, people naturally think of community.
Yeah.
But like your a milestone birthday.
Yeah.
Or something just really special and specific you want, who would be on that list?
Yeah.
That's your tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, because you can't travel with anyone. You can't travel with just anyone.
True.
You can't spend a week in a foreign destination with just anybody. You can't get lost in translation with just anybody. Yeah, I think that's a good test.
It's really funny because whenever we're trying to host something or we're planning something,
No.
do you remember how I always come for you? I'm like, Dianne, this is not a community event. Let's invite so and so, invite so and so.
Yeah.
So like, how do you like?
She will literally tell me, this is not a community center, and that's true. But
I love that about you. I love that about you.
To me, it's like the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Because I love people, but
too.
also I'm a networker. Like, not. I think networking gets a bad rep. It's like you want something. It's like transactional.
Yeah.
You know? But I think in my head, I'm always simulating things.
Yeah.
And like, Duaa's really great at this. If she could only meet this person who's really good at this, who you might not meet because maybe you're in different sectors, right? Or you live in different parts of the world or whatever. So now like we're all in New York at the UN General Assembly. This is a great time to bring everybody together because when else are you going to meet? And then you'll be like, I have been on my feet. I have been in these meetings for 14 hours. I'm exhausted. I don't want to meet one more person that I don't know. I can't network. I can't tell my story.
My
where you're
head,
from, when you do it, and I'm like, please just meet this one person. You just never know. Maybe that one person will change your life or be a connection forever.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I just came back from UNJ and you're like, what do you mean you didn't network? And I'm like, I just don't know how. Dianne is my go-to when I want to network.
And I'm not even a great networker.
You're so good at, like, you're just a natural. No matter what color, size, or you know what I mean, where they're from, you're really good at it.
Thank you. It does. I'm naturally shy.
I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that.
So 2 things. I'm naturally shy and I'm an introvert. Mainly because I'm shy.
Make it make sense.
But nobody in my circle believes me.
No. Guys, it's a lie.
No. Let me tell you. I think I should be an actress because it's a great act. And I'm so happy that I've convinced the entire world, everybody knows me, that they think I'm an extrovert. I am not an extrovert.
Listen.
At all.
Once this is launched, I want you to open the comment section and I want people to comment. Do you think she's lying or she's not? Because there's no way. Seriously. Anyways.
I'm not in, we can have a whole conversation.
We can go on a debate. But there's one thing about Dianne. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the reason I say is that it's an act because it was intentional. I was so painstakingly shy growing up. And then when my dad was such a social person. He was a social butterfly. He loved people. There were always people in the house, all the time. And when he passed, I said, we cannot forget him. We cannot forget him, and we cannot forget everything he worked for. So I have to, as the firstborn, and I have no brothers. There are no sons in the family. As the firstborn, people always just be like, "Oh my God, said he didn't have boys, only had girls." I'm like, I'm gonna show these people, because that's the feistiness in me. I'm a Scorpio. Forgive me. Anyway, so I'm gonna show these people, and we're not gonna forget him. We're not gonna forget the work that he did. So I'm gonna be everywhere. So I did everything. I went to every wedding. They asked me to serve, I served. Wow. You asked me to be a bridesmaid, I be it.
At what age did you start this?
Just after he died, like 13, 14. Wow. It was like
so independence clicked at that age.
It wasn't even independence. It was like defense of legacy.
Okay.
Like I needed to cement the legacy.
Cannot be forgotten. Yeah.
Cannot be forgotten, but also this is the Dusaidi way. We are people 1st. So it was really important to me. So I made it was intentional.
Okay.
I said I have to be everywhere, I have to do everything. I have to embody the family values, can I say, right? And then, but to do that, you have to be in front of people, you have to talk to people,
Yeah.
you have to, so I became that person, but intentionally, right?
Wow.
So that's why and I find it so funny. People are always like, you're an extrovert. I'm like, I wish you knew the conversations I had with myself at 13. And by legacy, I don't mean he did great work for Rwanda, but I mean the family values, just who he was as a person
Yeah.
cannot be forgotten.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Wow. It's incredible.
But I was painstaking shy.
And
I still am.
And your sister doesn't have to do any. Your sister's really lucky because you did it all. Like she doesn't even
Exactly.
doesn't have to serve anywhere. Doesn't have to go to any.
Let me tell you, firstborn suffer.
Trust me, God.
Your firstborn, you know.
I know it. I know
We
it.
suffer. The funny thing is, my sister's not shy. She's an extrovert. She's an extrovert. She's an extrovert, but she's also much better at public speaking. She really took after my dad in that lane. She's much better at public speaking. She's also a public servant. Speaks multiple languages. She's very much like has his humor. Like I did all the work and I got nothing.
That big heart. That's what you got. But anyways, guys, one thing about Dianne, if you know Dianne, is that she's organized, and I had to come organized to this with my questions already.
Okay.
So I wanna, let's take it back a notch and go a little bit lighter. Really curious. What's a guilty pleasure TV show or podcast you would never miss?
It's going to sound ridiculous. So, okay, when I lived in Rwanda or anywhere else besides Toronto, I really enjoyed watching Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Can you say that louder?
Real Housewives of Atlanta was my guilty pleasure.
Uh-huh.
Right. It was only the Real Housewives and Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Those two, the reality shows. But let me tell you something. Ever since I moved back, it's like ridiculous. I'm addicted to soap operas. I know.
Are you singing along or like?
No, like first of all, me and Victor Newman, we are one.
Okay.
Do you know Victor Newman? Right, Young and the Restless?
Yeah.
Love him. Love him so much. General Hospital kicks me on my toes. I love this dude. General Hospital and Young and the Restless.
Okay.
And of course, I mean, they come on during the day, so I have to like record them. And also, but I'm obsessed. Nice. Which is ridiculous because Victor Newman is like 100 years old. But he's still powerful.
And a good actor.
And he's a great actor. Actually, I met him when I was a kid.
Okay. Talk about networks, guys. I told you.
We have a love affair with Victor Newman.
Uh-huh.
I met him when I was like maybe 9 years old. So Jane and Finch Mall was our mall. And, it's a very urban area, right? And Victor Newman, celebrities used to do, what do they call them? Like meet and greets at malls. And they used to do meet and greets at malls, and he came to Jane and Finch.
Wow.
So I saw him right there, and I was like, I want your autograph. And he was so nice. Sorry. The thing is that because I was so young, he was so old to me, even then. So when I see him on TV now, I'm like, there's no way, Victor. Newman is still, yeah, but he's still going hard. He's still the boss of Young and the Restless.
I don't know if I don't know. It's Jane Finch or you meeting him. I can't, like, it's just not correlating.
I know.
That's so interesting. Let's leave that aside. Okay, coffee or tea?
So I'm originally a tea person. I don't really like milk in tea. I do drink milk, but not milk in tea. I prefer herbal tea or black tea. But I swear, over the past maybe 5, 6, 7 years, I've become a coffee drinker. So now I drink straight black coffee. I need to have black coffee at least 1 cup a day. And let me tell you something. The other day, I had a really bad headache. I had a headache for 3 days.
Is that when you asked us the question in the group chat about the coffee?
Yeah. So I had a really bad headache and I tried everything. Advil, Tylenol, everything. And then I went to the walk-in clinic and they were like, you should go to the emergency room. And I was like, okay.
You didn't tell us that.
So then I grabbed a cup of coffee.
Okay.
And I was completely fine.
Wait.
And I have not had a headache since then. Because the doctor was like, you sound like you have a migraine. you should go to the ER because it's a walk-in clinic, so they don't have the
Yeah.
MRI machine and stuff. And I was like, okay, so I'll grab a cup of coffee, and I felt completely fine. So since then, I'm obsessed. A cup of coffee a day.
So you're an addict now.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you're a coffee.
I'm a coffee, but before, because this
Because
happens
you love
recently,
tea.
I'm definitely a tea person. I can have like 5 cups of tea a day.
Wow.
But coffee, but it also affects me. Like I can't drink coffee after 11,
Yeah.
right?
11 a.m. or 11 p.m.
11 a.m.
a.m.
a.m. to be in bed by 10 p.m. I can't drink coffee after 11 a.m. That's how much it affects me. We have a friend who drinks like 5 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
But she told me it's cultural because she's from Eritrea.
Eritrea, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes sense. You grew up with it. I didn't. I was a coffee drinker until like yesterday. I mean, a tea drinker until like yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize that was the first, like, that around the first time that you're drinking.
Yeah.
No wonder your question came on, like.
I was so confused. I was like, what is going on here? This is, I mean, like, why do they give us Advil and Tylenol?
Yeah.
If we could just drink coffee.
Seriously, the next.
I don't want to, like, if you have a migraine, please go get help. But what helped you?
Or try cucumber. Cucumbers are really good for your headaches.
Like, eat the whole cucumber?
Yeah, you because it's hydrating, and oftentimes when you have migraines and headaches, it's you need that. So have a cucumber. Yeah.
Well, also, I do love natural stuff, though. I will say, I go to medicine as a last result. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them about your ginger pills.
Ginger. So what works for me? I used to have really bad cramps. Ginger pills, like the pill. So it's like 500 milligrams in one pill. Take it 30 minutes. Thank me later.
So I really want to ask, since you're a business person, you're all about numbers. How do you personally measure success beyond numbers and reports?
I think, when you do something that goes beyond you, right? So when I did Rise and Shine, for example, Rise and Shine Roundup, I remember some people would come up to me, like months after whenever I've aired, and they would say, I used to watch your show, and, I got so inspired. That's why I'm here. I remember one person telling me, I decided to move home because I watched your show, and I was like, if that person can do this, I can do something as well. Right? Because we would feature a lot of young entrepreneurs. I mean, we're all young at the time. I turned 30 on that show. Right? The team, the cast were all very young, like early 20s. The crew behind the scenes were a bit older, but honestly, everybody was young. So we just talked about what we knew. So people were like, oh, you featured really young people on the show. That was amazing. You get on a platform. I was like, we just interviewed our friends. Like, we were all young. So it inspired other young, because they're like, if that young person can build this business from scratch, what can I do? So I think that's impact, right? I can't tell you how many people saw the show and then moved home, but I can tell you, I know a few people came up to me, and I think it's not just moving home, it's knowing that they can, right? Whether it's start the business or make the move, I think that's impact, showing the possibility and having people actually make that change.
You brought up young people. Curious on what role do you see young African youth playing in shaping the global economy, or just, the world in the next 10 years?
Young people just have they have much more opportunity than I think we did, or the people before us did. Now with AI, honestly, they can do anything. You don't really, I think it's like an equalizer, right? It's easier to start things. I remember when I was starting, getting a business plan done was either time consuming or expensive, right? Now ChatGPT and others can do it for you in seconds, right? Of course, you have to feed it. You have to give it your ideas, and it'll structure it for you and stuff like that. But I think, in the advent of AI, and the entire continent is young, right? And I think now young people are able to go into sectors that we weren't traditionally allowed to go into. Like I said, I wanted to be a lawyer. It was either that or become a doctor, because even engineering was fairly new. So now I know so many people in the creative industries making money. I think that's fascinating. But also there's other sectors like ed tech. It's not just fintech. It's like health tech. It's all of these other things that I think they can go into. I think with YouTube and TikTok, and there are different ways to learn.
Yeah.
So you can learn faster. You don't need to buy expensive courses. You don't even really need to do an MBA. I mean, you should go to school. I'm still an advocate for education.
You could be an entrepreneur, but still get your education.
Get your degree, because did you hear at the beginning where I had to fall back on the multiple degrees? Thank you. So still get your education, but there are different ways to learn skills and to learn them fast. So I think with the help of AI and then the speed, I think young people, 10 years, we don't even know what 10 years will look like. Forget for the world.
Yeah.
10 years, I mean, just what was the world 2 years ago, 3 years ago? So 10 years, we don't even know what the world will look like, what Africa will look like, but I know it will be bright.
Yeah.
The young people have so many opportunities at their fingertips.
Yeah. I heard within the next 10 years, we're going to have flying like helicopters as Ubers.
Love the technology.
Yeah.
Love where it's going. It's so funny to me how much the world today looks like the Jetsons. Because didn't they have that? They did.
Wow.
They would like pick up their coffee in their helicopter taxis.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. I would never. You know me and flying. But anyways, you mentioned there's a lot of new things in the world now and a lot of opportunities for young people. New career path, like different pathways.
Yeah.
If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what career would you be in? Would you want to go back and be in law, or would you be in something else?
Yeah, I think the sensible thing would have been law or policy making. So government, but like the policy level. I'm sure this will be shocking. But I think I have a great musical ear. Even though I can't sing a tune, I think I'd be a great music producer.
I would have never guessed.
I think so.
Okay, but why?
I hear things and I'm just like, they should have done it a different way. I hear something, I hear a song, and I'm like, wow, they missed this.
Is it the beat or is it the word, or what is it about the?
Sometimes it's both or either or. I don't know. I just feel like I could produce it better.
Interesting. Any criticism on any of Whitney Houston's?
No, she's perfect.
Burna Boy?
No, actually, Burna Boy is very professional. Like his production is top tier.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he sees this. So yeah.
Yeah, I know Burna Boy. The other great people are like Adele. Adele is a really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hear songs and I'm like, or like a music exec, because sometimes I'll hear a song like, why did they make that the single? Like that's annoying. There are other things on the album that could have been.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I feel like, like an author would wordsmith things. I feel like I could wordsmith or music smith. I don't know.
That's really interesting. No, actually, that's a fun fact that I've never learned. Like I would have never have guessed.
And my sister hates this fun fact. She's like, you are delusional. If there's a Delulu version.
Maybe we can tell. What's one song that puts you in a good mood? And that's not a Whitney Houston song.
Not a Whitney song? Anyways, I am very old school, so anything 90s.
Okay, what's your morning anthem if you have one?
No, I listen to gospel music every morning.
Wow.
Every morning in the shower. It's what gets me through my day. It's every morning religiously.
Okay. I'm just really curious. What do you think of DMX? Because DMX is my morning anthem.
I have a friend who sleeps.
No, I can't sleep to him. He wakes me up.
To DMX.
Wow.
I thought that was strange.
As
much as I love DMX, I was just like, that. It's like the beat. Like how do you?
That's what it wakes me up.
That's their rhythm.
Interesting. Okay.
Do what works for you.
Wow.
I need total silence to go to bed.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't sleep well like we generally. I don't get enough sleep. But anyways, I track everything.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to track my sleep, my eating habits, because sometimes you can go to the gym every day and not lose weight, and it's really what you eat. It's what you consume. You're like, I'm not that much of a snacker, but your portion control is out of control, or you're not eating enough protein, or you're not, So I'm just starting to track. Not starting. I've been tracking for a while. I track everything. So yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I learned about you in Ghana, because you were tracking everything.
I track everything,
which is good.
Everything from my steps to my water intake, the kind of food I eat, the working out, I don't know. I just track everything. the alcohol intake. If you start tracking how many times you drink, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
A lot, because I say I'm only a social drinker, which is true. I don't buy alcohol in the house. Never have alcohol in the house. So if I have it in the house, it's because you're coming over. Like somebody's coming. You don't drink, but other friends are coming over,
Yeah.
and I'll buy it for them. I'll buy I'll buy for them as they come. But it's just not my thing. So I was like, because I'm a social drinker, I don't drink much. Then I started tracking it. I was like, no way, gotta cut back. I think this is the problem in some parts of the world.
Girl, you started tracking how much Coke I drank, so.
Yeah, I just and now you're tracking. Now you're doing a lot better.
But now I'm doing better because I track it now too. It's like a habit, so yeah, it's a good habit, honestly. It's a good habit because you feel it in your body, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your skin is doing a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
No, honestly, Coke is. I mean, I enjoy Coke. We had a Coca-Cola earlier, but not like you. You still people can get addicted to coffee. That was you and Coke. That's not good.
It's okay. We're working on it, but it's all thanks to you because you really kept me on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you worked in different spaces, development, law, policy. You work with youth, finance. You've done it all. Where do you see the most untapped potential?
Untapped. I think for young entrepreneurs, and I guess development spaces and commercial bank, the untapped really is the missing middle, right? How do we fund the missing middle? Because again, like the mom and pop shops or the SMEs and the startups, there's capital for both ends of the spectrum. But the missing middle, the middle is really missing financing and just like training, like how do you jump from one level to the other, right? I think that's the untapped potential really. And if we could lock that or unlock it, as I would say, in our spaces, oh my God, the flow of capital, the flow of ideas, the growth of businesses, I think that would really transform Africa.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because like living on the continent, you see it, you see the need there.
Yeah.
But then when you come on this side and you see all of like, the refugees that are coming into Canada from, African countries and the gap that's here too.
Yeah.
And the lack of resourcing, but yeah.
I mean, there are gaps everywhere in every industry, every industry. So yeah, I guess redistribution of wealth, but really just more opportunities across the board.
Yeah. Yeah. No, good. Okay, so I'm going to go into these what's, okay? Most of the times these what's are fun. You see in other podcasts, they're fun, but I think because, your background, your wealth of knowledge and whatnot, I made it a little bit serious.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but we can have some fun with it.
Yeah.
I want to start with what's a moment in your career that shaped the way you approach leadership today?
Oh, leadership. So, I mean, it happened in my career, but it reminded me, back to what I was saying about legacy and wanting to continue what previous generations have started. So when I was working at RDB, my boss at the time, Claire, shout out to Claire Gamanzi, who's now the CEO of NBA Africa. At the time, I mean, but she wasn't CEO. I mean, she was deputy CEO, to be fair, of RDB.
I mean, I didn't say anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she's always been great. So Claire was my boss, and I remember us having a meeting, a team meeting, and we were in charge of foreign direct investment to get foreign direct investment in the country. And I think maybe we're lacking on our numbers, or maybe we're planning an event and it just wasn't coming together as quickly as she wanted it to, etc. And she just got so mad. Not mad, but she was just like, you people are not taking this seriously. Like, if we do this, we get to do this. If we do this, we get to do this. Like, you need to think of it beyond the task, right? You need to think of it as legacy. Like, what legacy are you leaving in this job, in this institution, in the country, as yourself? Like, what is your legacy? What are you trying to build here? Like, we're all trying to build something, and we need to come together and build it. Like, she was just very passionate about that always stuck with me. And I was like, she also wasn't very old. She was also a very young leader at the time, maybe under 30 at the time of this conversation. And, to see her think of legacy like that, and that's why she was in the role that she was in, right? And why she's continued to excel. So I think also just leading by example, like watching Claire, watching Joanna from Kasha, the founder, at the time she's co-founder, now she's founder, and CEO of Kasha, just the way she works. And I think with Joanna, what was so interesting watching her was how she balances her time. She sent us an email at some point when I was working there, the whole team, about how she distributes her time. She's like, Kasha is very important to me, the growth of Kasha, the employees of Kasha, the products, the services, the people that are customers. But if you call me between 6 to 7 p.m., I'm ignoring you. Why? Because I'm having dinner with my family, you know? And it's like, she's a great mom, you know, great wife, has a great husband, was very supportive of Kasha. You know, she was a great mentor to me. And she was also in the details of Kasha. Like 9 to 5, Joanna was in the weeds. She wasn't like this high-end CEO. She was in the weeds, you know, making sure everything goes right and that really putting the customer first. Like, does this product, does the service make sense for the customer? But after that, she was going to her kids' karate class. She was going for dinner with her husband. She would have birthday drinks. She would take the team out and, you know, chat up with the team, crack jokes. We'd go dancing, like completely different, you know. And I loved that divide. I think, you know, it really showed like leadership in action. And female leaders, right? I was very lucky to I've had a number of female leaders in my career, and to see the ones that really stood out were the ones that really embodied legacy, but also like they cared about the people, they cared about the work, you know, and they cared about having families, they cared about, you know, you could do it all.
Yeah.
You could do it all.
You know, so interesting because now that you're saying that, I see that, like, especially with when it comes to scheduling and timing, remember? I had this time blocked. Nope, I'm not available from this time. I'm available from this time. Like,
I'm addicted to the calendar.
But you're good at it. Like, you balance your time.
Yeah. It's very important. I learned that from Joanna.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And then you got the practice from Claire.
Yeah, it's true.
Sorry, but go on about
No, that's true. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely learned the calendar blocking from Joanna. You know, simple things like that. Also, I remember, I don't know, I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but she would also block like certain hours in the morning to learn more about the industry she was in.
Wow.
So she would blog, and it was like her research. And before ChatGPT, before like literally, you know, getting the trade magazines or whatever, you know, whatever subscriptions you want, just to know what else is happening in the health industry, what else is happening in the tech industry, what else is happening in tech in Africa, whatever, you know, just to learn more and make sure that you're one step ahead, or you're at least at more par. Yeah, and that you're always still learning. Right?
Yeah.
I think I learned that from her too. I think people would be really surprised to know how, you know, how much of a nerd I can be.
You're a nerd. Oh, she's a nerd.
Oh my God.
You're
Like,
nerd,
I deep dive into everything. Right?
Yeah.
I don't do anything without knowing what I'm talking about, you know? But also I just like learning, just generally, like I'm you know, an avid subscriber of Masterclass, the platform, the learning platform. I can go deep dives on YouTube, just doing different things, ChatGPT and Google and all this, like, just on various topics. Like this year, I decided I was going to learn more about the brain, just the brain and how it works, and you know, this different supplements and nutrients, food that you could eat to really stimulate the brain, because I just felt like my short-term memory. First of all, I don't have a great memory. Right, but my short-term memory in particular, I could put something here and I'm like, this has got to change.
Your long-term memory is really
You know,
good, yeah.
my long-term memory is better, but my short-term memory is tricky.
It's because you have a lot on your plate. Like,
I have
you know,
a lot
there's so
going
much-
on,
Yeah.
so it's like a lot of it is stress and all of that. But I just, you know, so I've been deep diving on the brain. I have a number of books and stuff like that around it. So I think, but that's something I learned from Dianne. Like, if you want to know something, you don't have to become an expert. Like, I'm not going to become a neurosurgeon, neuroscientist, but I want to understand it to the extent that it could be useful to my life, right? Are there certain foods that help with it? Are there, you know, yeah.
But no, that's really interesting because UNGA, Claire was there, and you can hear the passion in her voice.
Yeah.
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
And she's passionate about everything she does. Like, who knew she'd be in basketball? But I don't think, I mean, I haven't had this conversation with her, but I don't think it's about basketball. I think basketball is like a tool. Right? It's about the development of Africa, and basketball is one tool to develop, which, and investment promotion was another. And, you know, this is why she can do both to the extent that she does it.
Amazing. So I feel like the the point in this is that you need to have leaders around you, like as we
For
think.
sure. And I don't think if you asked Claire, do you know you're one of Diane's mentors, that she would say yes. I don't think
Yeah.
it would ever, because that's another thing that, we talked about on this podcast. You don't have to, your mentors don't have to know who you are. I've also mentors that either I was blessed to work with. It's easier when you work directly with them.
Yeah.
So you can watch them, because it's not about the speech, right? A lot of these leaders give keynote speeches and different things. It's not about the speech. It's about the work, and it's the everyday, right? It's how they get up, how they lead people, how they talk to junior staff,
Yeah.
how they organize their day, things like that. So I think it's better if you know them and you work together. But if not, there are lots of people I admire and I've learned a lot from, even online.
Yeah.
People who they'll never know my name.
Yeah.
I'll probably never meet, but I love them and I've learned a lot from them.
Obama.
And there are many people. Yeah.
Okay. What's the best advice you've ever received, and the worst?
Best advice, I think, just as an entrepreneur, multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
Have multiple streams of income. It doesn't mean that you have to have many businesses.
Mhm.
If you can multitask like that, great. It's hard to do many great things, right? So if you have one successful business, that's really great. If you are employed, it doesn't mean that you need to get promoted every year. Maybe it's a bonus. You have the salary, then maybe it's an end of year bonus. And then maybe you get the salary and you put some money in savings. And maybe you put some money in bonds. And maybe you put some money in stocks and in crypto. Maybe you start a side hustle. How many incomes are those? Right? So I think just having multiple streams is important, because also this life is expensive. It doesn't matter how extravagant you are. And I know I can be a little on the higher end because I like nice things. But life is just so expensive, and it gets more and more and more expensive. I was having this conversation the other day with some girlfriends around, retirement.
Yeah.
And it's like, the world really ready for people to live longer, If you retire at 60, can your pension schemes, it would not just run to Canada, like anywhere in the world, can they help you live until you're 90, 100? When we were growing up, in some of the countries that we live, we're blessed to live in, the estimate of life was around 45, 50. Now it's like 70, 80.
Hold on, 45 then and 70, 80 now?
Yeah.
I feel like
It's like in 30 years.
But I feel like in our grandparents, mashallah, like they.
I know, but
That's interesting.
yeah.
You can tell us the worst advice you received.
Oh, the worst advice. I mean, you take advice. Advice is you can either take it or you can laugh. So I just leave a lot of
You just
things.
leave it.
I just leave it.
It doesn't.
I think, no, yeah, like if I don't agree, it just like doesn't even register.
Okay.
But probably something like you need to focus.
Yeah.
Or something. I'm just like, oh, focus on what? I focus on living. Focus on living and living my best life. And if that means I do 10,000 things, that means I do 10,000 things. Like, what's it to you? I guess, like, some of the jobs that I have, people would be like, why would you do a podcast? That's just not serious. It's fun. I enjoy talking to you and to all the people that have been blessed to, I've been blessed to have on the show, to get to learn what they're doing.
Anyways, we'll leave that. We'll leave that.
Yeah. So if things don't apply to you, feel free to leave them.
And you don't even need to say they're bad advice, but it's just not
say, okay,
for you.
thanks.
Okay, thanks. And you walk away.
Yeah.
What's a small daily ritual that keeps you grounded?
Okay, so like my morning ritual, like I said, I listen to gospel music every morning in the shower, like as I'm getting ready. And I would say taking all my vitamins.
Yeah.
Like I cannot function before I take all my vitamins.
Okay.
And there's certain things I need to do in the morning. I shower, I listen to my gospel music, then take all my vitamins, and I need to have a cup of tea. So in the morning, it's either lemon ginger,
Okay,
or peppermint, or something that's a pick-me-up, like a natural stimulator. Yeah. If I want a bit of caffeine, maybe it's green tea. I don't have coffee first. You should have coffee after eating. So I will have my vitamins first. So I take a bunch of vitamins. If you can, just do a multivitamin. I'm not pushing anything on anyone, but what I do is I take a multivitamin. I thought I needed to take vitamin D just because I lived in Canada, but actually a lot of even Black people still need vitamin D, even if you live in Africa. And to take vitamin D, to absorb it, you need vitamin K.
Well, no idea.
I think K2. Yeah, and sometimes it's packaged together. Sometimes it's separate. What other thing do I take? Magnesium. I think everybody needs magnesium. Yeah.
Okay.
So just some of those things.
That's interesting.
And I have to have breakfast. I'm a breakfast person.
Yeah.
I've tried intermittent fasting. It doesn't work for me. Like it works. It definitely slimmed down when I try it, but I'm starving and I'm just not nice.
No.
I've not eaten.
Honestly,
So
I'm laughing because every time we're on trip together and we're like, okay, see you for breakfast. And I'm not a breakfast person. And I'm like, Dianne, you have your breakfast. And
yeah,
you're always surprised by people who don't want to have breakfast.
I don't understand. Like I can wake up at 5 just to make sure I have breakfast. Yeah. Really, I do it for other people. I'm just not nice when I've not eaten, when I'm not, no. Yeah. I have to be centered. Yeah. Full, vitamins induced, gospel praised. The Lord is helping me. Bless you to have a great day.
I can't even imagine you being mean. But anyways, what's a message that you'd share with someone listening from half across the world right now? What if it's someone in Rwanda, someone in Sudan, or, where?
Halfway across the world. Just whatever you want to do, do it. Don't be afraid to fail. So when I started Legacy 45, my former colleagues would be like, they'd come to me like, you're so brave. I really didn't understand it at the time because I guess I was still in my 20s. And, when you're young, you're like naturally brave. You don't even realize what that means. And I think the more I keep doing, I understand why people say that. It really does take a lot. It takes a lot to step outside your comfort zone, have people see a different side of you. And it might not be successful. I don't even know what success looks like for this podcast, right? To me, success really is one person saying, oh, that was really insightful or really interesting or really funny. Or, I learned a lot from that. Or I didn't know we do that in Africa or didn't, because there are many different people on the podcast, right? From different countries. So the representation also matters. So to me, that's what success looks like.
Nice. What's one food you could eat every day and never get tired of? Pizza.
Pizza, 100%. It's a problem. I need to have my Friday pizza.
Okay.
It's just a thing.
Everywhere you go. Even in Rwanda, would you eat pizza?
All the time. I even have them on speed dial. I have the driver's number.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I bypass because you have the apps to order the food. No, that takes too long. I'm just like, I have my guy.
They know Dan.
Yeah, they know. They're like, they even tell me, welcome back. Yeah. You remember when you came to my house in Kigali? We ordered pizza from that, remember?
Same person.
Same place.
Wow. It was good pizza though. What superpower would you choose if you could have one for a week?
Maybe listening to people's thoughts.
Mind reader, huh?
Mind reader.
Can you handle that?
So there's actually a movie about this.
I know.
I think with Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it actually becomes overwhelming because you're like, people are crazy.
No, 100%.
You don't want to. But maybe if I actually had a superpower, I think I would just like make everybody kind. Because I think we need some peace and kindness in this world, Yeah. But if the question is, what is my superpower? I think my superpower is bringing people together. I get to know,
100%.
I get to meet so many people. So just bridging them.
The mobilizer. If you could instantly learn any skill in the world, what would it be?
Skill. I think to be multilingual, which I feel like AI will solve this problem soon, if they haven't already. But I think, just seeing, growing up with my dad, watching him, and then seeing my sister bounce between languages and, everyone else who's multilingual, just like how they support communities, I think it's just so interesting because language unifies, right? And it brings cultures and communities together.
If you could host a dinner party with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Oh my God. 3? No, I need more than 3. Who has a dinner party with 3 people?
3.
No.
Keep it at 3.
No, I need a few more people.
You would need 100.
That's true. Oh my God. Every time I'm doing like a birthday thing or something, so I'd always be like, oh, guys, we're going to keep it small this year.
Small to Dianne is like 50 people.
Yeah. So for them, they're thinking like a dinner table. still more than 3, but they're thinking like maybe 10. First of all, they're like 7. So I'm like, how is it 10? So I need people.
But I'm challenging you right now. Pick 3.
No, I can't do 3.
It's a challenge.
You know, it's so funny. I asked one of the guests on the show something similar, and I think I said 5. And she was like, no way, you're going to get me in trouble. Now I understand being on the other side. Jay-Z. Cultural influence. I also just like the way he moves in business. I think it's interesting. My dad, because miss him much.
Bless him.
I'm going to do more than 3. Princess Di. Miss her. Don't know her, obviously, but I just love what she represented. She like didn't give a heck, right? But at the same time seemed so kind. And I loved her love for her boys.
That's 3, I'll give you until 5. I'll give you 5.
Because I lived in Tunis during that time, the young person who set themselves on fire and started the revolution. I think his name was Mohammed. And because I'm always just like, Africa needs to be in spaces that it's not. Literally, there's a young person from Nigeria who has an organization or a business called Space in Africa. I think that would be interesting. Like, what are you doing? What are we doing in Africa for space? Because, yeah, we need to be in the conversation, in every conversation. Yeah. And then we need some more women. Let me think.
Dianne, that's it. I said.
No, we have to balance. Old,
Okay, guys, give me one more woman.
African, non-African.
Okay, give me one.
There's a young girl from Kenya. She was on the podcast, Charlotte. Climate activist, climate action. Because I think climate is a big, big part of what we need to worry about. And, you know, she's one of the solutions. And she recently won the Earthshot Prize from Prince William, $1 million prize, multi-million-dollar prize, actually, because it's over $1 million. I think she would be interesting.
These are really interesting names that you could have.
You know what else I would really love? Venus Williams. I love her comeback story. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, why? You don't need to. Well, she did say she needed insurance, health insurance, which I thought was hilarious because
The honesty.
Wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love tennis. I fell in love with tennis in Ghana.
I remember.
Yeah. I actually enjoy playing it because I feel like it helps me getting the ball, like with the frustration. I tried golf. It's like, this is not getting my frustration out. And my frustration is not where it's just like life, you know, so just like hitting the balls. So I enjoy playing. And I think just like you're Venus Williams, like, you don't need to. But the fact that she's come back at her age, at the level that she's at, I think that would be just like, and I feel like also with tennis, we need to do better in Africa. Generally, as a sport, I think we do a lot of great sports: football, basketball, even cricket.
Do we have the infrastructure for it though?
We need
we
to
have
have
a lot
of tennis courts.
You just don't see it a lot.
Yeah,
you don't see it a lot.
just like football, just like basketball. Like you have to, it's grassroots, right? So I think tennis would be interesting to join to the conversation. So we have sports, we have music, culture.
Okay, we're done.
We have politics, young,
We are
old.
done. We're going back to the questions. If you're young, I'm dying because I know you're still thinking about names.
Yes, I'm still thinking of people to add. It's a problem.
I'm telling you, the dinner table will turn into 50 people.
It's true. But then that's a party. Didn't you say dinner party?
But I said a dinner.
You
A
said
dinner.
party. I will edit this.
A party to you is like 100
No, but you
people.
also need people who can like vibe and learn from each other and like have an interesting conversation.
Yeah. If your younger self could see you now, what would surprise her the most?
Oh my God. I think everything. I think just generally. I mean, we went from Jane and Finch to this, you know? I think my younger self would be like, yeah, you did that. You did everything you said you're going to do, everything you wanted to do, and then some, and you're still going.
Good for you.
You know, back to bravery, like keep pushing,
Yeah.
you know? Now I would, looking back, to tell my younger self, like, stop worrying. But life works out.
It all works out.
It all works out whenever you feel like you're running out of time, or you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't multitask, you don't know how you're going to do it. First of all, by the time you have a thought of something, I believe that comes from God. Like, and God's not going to let you, it's not going to give you what you can't handle. I think it's just stop worrying. What you have to do is start. And that's where the bravery comes in. You start, and then you get some momentum. Then God sends people on your path to help you.
Yeah. And it all falls into place.
Okay. If you could swap lives with anyone for a day, who would it be?
A beach bum.
You
Like
know,
somebody just like chilling.
relaxing.
It must be so nice.
Yeah. You are a
Must
beach
be
girl.
nice. I'm a beach girl.
Yeah.
I love being on the beach. I don't have the body for it, but whatever. I enjoy it. I enjoy just chill because it's like so rare that I get to just chill. So I think, or like a housewife that's not on TV, like just like a rich housewife, like for real, and you just get to enjoy your millions and your kids, and you're just chilling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How has your background shaped the way you approach challenges?
I mean, I love being Rwandan. I love being African. I love being Black. I love being female. Period.
Mic drop.
Yeah,
Seriously.
love it. Love it because and to be born and to be alive at this time, oh, feels so blessed. Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of us even remember I randomly always messaging me like we just shared Kingami for one day.
That's one of my favorite things. And people say so because I travel so much for work and for other things. People will always tell me,
Do you remember?
can you lend us? Yeah, you're a landlord in Ghana. I was like, we need him. But the funny thing to me is that it's young people, it's old people, it's people in Africa, other people. People were like, can you lend us your president? It's President, I don't know if President Kagame watches podcasts, but if you ever do, please know you are loved by your people and by other people. And that is really a true testament to his work ethic and to his vision. Yeah, it's for sure.
Honestly, if you're ever thinking of another country, please come to ours. We need you.
To Sudan.
To Sudan.
Yeah, Dua's from Sudan. Yeah.
Very proud Sudanese, but
Yeah, very proud Sudanese.
I actually wanted to say, like, for those who are watching, African, non-African, but especially our African folks who are watching this podcast, if you've never been to Rwanda, you should go.
Visit Rwanda. Visit Rwanda. Like the perfect tagline, right?
Not sponsored, but
Not sponsored. Yeah. But anyways, I'm a brand ambassador for my country. Everybody knows that. Yeah.
Loud and proud.
Loud and proud.
Loud and proud. I loved it. You already told us why you started this podcast. Tell us again.
So the podcast really, I wanted to, because I get to meet so many people around the world, Africans and Africans in the diaspora, or non-Africans, but people contributing to the development of Africa. I really wanted to showcase that because I think maybe earlier in the story, I might have skipped over the fact when I finished high school, just the nature of finishing senior 6 and taking Cambridge. And by the time you get your results and you have to apply for universities and then you get a call back and all of that, is like a forced gap year or like 6 months or something, right? So I had nothing to do and I would party a lot. And my mother was so sick of me partying. She's like, I need you to go get a job. Because she let me be for like a month or so. And then she was like, please, you're stressing me out. Go get a job. I need you because you being idle, you don't know how to be idle.
Seriously, I can't even, I've never imagined you or have ever seen me be idle.
So imagine, idle and young and broke. You could really get into some destruction, right? I went to get a job. My first job was with Radio Rwanda. And I broadcasted news with no formal training. They trained me on the job, but I didn't have a bachelor's degree. I didn't study journalism or mass communications or anything like that. So doing that in 2003, when we had the first presidential elections, and people would be like, "Oh my God, I hear your voice on the whatever." I understood the impact and the power of media, so I wanted to do the same for other people because I was like, if I can create a platform and I get to share my network with other people and all amazing things that they're doing, why not do it? Yeah. So I film this on the weekends and it's fun and I get to see my friends. But it's really about building African people, building Africa. And you don't have to be Black, you don't have to be African. There are lots of people and everybody's welcome.
Yeah. Think about this. Imagine you could put one message on a billboard for the whole world to say. What would it say?
I don't think it would be about me because the self-promotion, we all have challenges with it, right? But I would say Africa is not for sale. Africa is open for business, but it's not for sale. So come partner with us, work with us, learn from us, learn with us, teach us. But we're going to do this together. We're in it together and we're in it for the long haul. But it's not for sale. That's what I would say.
I love that. I really love that. Wow. Africa's not for sale, guys.
It's open for business. It's open to travel. I think there's so much that we can learn from each other, even within Africa. And there's so much business we can do together. And yeah, so many great things.
I really like this. I love this.
Thank you for doing this.
And I really hope the world gets to see who you are and who this Dianne Dusaidi. Honestly, I love this. I feel like I now know an extra layer of you, of Dianne.
And you've known me for a few years now.
Forever. It feels like forever.
Yeah.
I feel like
It does feel like much longer than it's been. Yeah.
It does. And I really hope everybody really gets to kind of see this and see who you are from a fun side and a professional side and a serious side. But I think because this will be online, I feel like if there are questions, don't feel shy.
Yeah, just reach out, send a DM, put a comment. But thank you, Duaa, so much for this, So shout out to Duaa, who's been cheering me on from the sidelines. Shout out to the crew, Mike and team. Thank you to everybody who's watched, everybody who's come on the show. It takes a team, a small and mighty team. Thank you all. Take care. Bye. Yay! High five!
Hit subscribe to the Dianne Dusaidi podcast on YouTube or wherever you are tuning in from so you won't miss any upcoming episodes. Thank you for watching, listening, and engaging. Till next time.